Okay, we got the Springfield XD. I'm going to do almost a complete slide disassembly. I'm not real familiar with this pistol. As you can see, my glasses are out. When my glasses are out, that means there's trouble. When my glasses are out, that means it's a little complicated. Not really complicated. Compared to the Glock, it's a train wreck. Like I told you, this is why people love Glock so much. I love the XD. They're extremely reliable. Guns and Ammo have been torture testing them left and right for years now, and they've been passing with flying colors. Get an XD if you ain't got one, and you get a lot. It's literally the biggest bang for your buck. The Springfield XD is the biggest bang for your friggin' buck. Trust me, $500 for this wonderful weapon is amazing. But if you want to detail strip the slide, like I said, it's just like the M&P. It's got these friggin' roll pins and shit. So I'm going to do this once. Another thing, the extractor with these guns, sometimes they're in there really tight, man, and sometimes they're not. Mine's a tight one. Sorry, the phone rang. Okay, where was I? I have no idea what I just said, because I've been on the phone for a while with a few people. I completely lost track. I don't know what I'm talking about. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What is that? Oh yeah, it's an XD. Oh yeah, the glasses are on the table. Yeah, that means we're getting into some heavy shit. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. I don't like taking roll pins out of guns, man, because every time you do that, and you take them in and out and in and out, they're going to get looser and looser and looser. You need to, if you're going to do that, make sure you buy some backup roll pins. Call friggin' Springfield and say, send me some fucking pins, because I'm going to take my gun apart. I'm going to take your friggin' pins out. All right. Yeah, well, I was just talking to Bill on the phone, which is always fun, and I was telling him, when I was shooting my Glock 23, I get that pinky pinch, man. I told him my other video, and there's only a certain group of guys that happens to, because you have to have the right size hands to fit in the pinky pinch club, and that's my luck. There's probably 100,000 people that don't get the pinky pinch, but I am probably one in 1,000 that's in the pinky pinch club. Thank you. So now I gotta find some kind of new floor plate for the Glock 23 magazine, so I have to keep pinching my friggin' pinky. I'm upset. Alright, let's get on with this. Let me get my chair. And no, you're not seeing me with these glasses on. Dream on. Never happen. I hate wearing glasses. Alright, let's see. You don't want to know what I look like with glasses on. If you really want to know, I look like Robert De Niro with Down syndrome. That's not funny. I didn't mean that, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to do this the best I can, okay? Alright, first thing, we're going to have to change the camera angles a couple times, because I want you guys to see this stuff. Alright, first thing we want to do is make sure I'm not in the frame. Am I in there? I don't want to be in frame there. Alright. A lot of people wants to see the Springfield XD slide disassembly. What do you call it? You know, every little part. Okay, this is a loaded weapon. No, it's not. Okay. Alright, first thing we gotta do is take the slide off. That's the first thing we're gonna do. Got my 2 punches here. Got some snap mother humping caps. Alright, and I'm going to take the slide off. How do you do it? I forget. Lock the back. Oh, this is how you do it. Back, lock the back, put the little lever up, release, pull the friggin' trigger. It comes right off. Look how thick that polymer is on that gun. Look at the walls. Look how thick they are. Christ, a friggin' elephant can stand on this thing and nothing's going to happen to it. That's why I like the XD. Thick, brutal. Alright, here's the double recoil spring. There's the little 3-inch barrel. That's what they call Eric, that's his nickname. Snubby. Don't ask me why. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, now, here's the slide. A little involved when you take it. It's not like the Glock. It's a little more involved. I'm going to do this to a certain extent, and I'll let you know why and when. You know what I'm saying? The first thing you got to do is take the back plate off. Now what you want to do is, if you have plastic punches, let me see if I have one. If I can use my plastic punches, I will. Yes, I have. Well, it's for the AR-15, but I don't know if it'll. It might work. I don't like using. Yes, it will work. All right, I'll use plastic. What you do is, see that little hole, and you see the circle. That whole thing pushes in. I'm going slow, so you see what the frig I'm doing. Okay. What you do is you push that in. The same time, just like a 1911, like you're taking the firing pin out. Can you see what I'm doing? Of course you can. You push that in, up, and you move that down. Now this is under tremendous spring pressure. It ain't like the Glock, it just pops out a little bit. No, this will go like a 9mm out. Just take off on you. So put your thumb over the hole, please. Take the back plate off. That's how you take the back plate off. Now, I don't know what the name of the parts is with this gun, so I'm going to say this and that and this thing and that thing. So, like I know I'm not an expert on these XDs. Now I'm going to take this out, and remember, anytime you're taking apart something, always remember how you're taking it out. So take it apart slow, okay? Okay. Now obviously, here's a spring. Now obviously there's the part you just seen poking out the back, and then this is your cocking indicator right here, which goes like this. It goes through the spring, it goes through that, and it pokes out, and it shows you you're cocked. Okay, so we're going to keep that together like that, so we don't mess up, and put that ever so gently right there. Now the next thing we got to do is we want to take the firing pin system out, and I can't get it out. You know why it won't come out? Do you know why? See it? It will not come out because there's a friggin' pin up here. Okay? But now we got to get that pin out. When you get the pin out, you want to flip it upside down. Get a. Is this the punch I was using? No way, that's too big. Wait a minute. I ain't got the right punch out here. What was I using? No way was it that one. No. Hold on, I misplaced my punch. Hold on. Okay, found my punch. Oh, you want to use a 3/32. Okay? Oh, it's made in India. Smells like incense. You want to use 3/32. That's what you want to use. That's what I used anyway. Now what you want to do now is elevate the slide, and you want to push the punch out through the bottom. Okay. Remember I told you how easy Glocks are to disassemble? This is what I'm talking about. Now if I was in the field somewhere, laying in the weeds with E-bombing, and my Glock got dirty, I wouldn't be able to take this apart. Well, if I had my Glock, I would. But if I was laying in the woods with E-bombing, because that's his fantasy, so I figure I'd say it once in a while, give him a little thrill. If I was laying in the woods with E-bombing in the weeds, and I had my XD, and I had to clean it thoroughly because it was malfunctioning, I wouldn't be able to do it. But the Glock, you would be able to. How about that? How about that? Okay. I just speak the truth. And that is the truth. Except the E-bombing part. Okay, I got this. I love these. Some dude sent me these. I'll use these for everything. They're awesome. These wooden dowels. Put this up there like that. And I'm going to start driving out the punch from the inside out through the roof of the slide. And I hope everything don't fall, because you got to hit it pretty good to get it out of there. Actually, instead of using a mallet, I need more solidness. So I'm going to use a steel hammer. Because believe it or not, the pin will come out easier if you use a steel hammer. Okay? I feel like I'm at work. Let's see what's going on. Here's a little, here it is, still stiff in there. I gotta get it out a little more. I'll show you how this works. Come comes right out, no big deal. Here it is. Now remember, there's the roll pin. It's closed on one end, it's open on the other end. So make sure when you put it back, you put the closed end in first through the top. I'll show you. We'll put this aside. Now, the firing pin assembly will come out. Here we go. Completely look a different system than the Glock. Look at that. So if the firing pin ever breaks on my XD, I'll be able to change it. Isn't that nice? And so will you now, if you don't know how to do it. And there's another little spring in here. Right here. It's a buffer spring. I think that's what it's called. And it goes on the front of the firing pin and it works like that. Okay? So we'll put that like that together. Now, there's another thing I want to take out. It's this little post. Remember, I don't know what everything's called, so I'm going to need my pick set for that because it's a tiny little mother humper. Yeah, I don't have any fingernails because I'm not gay. Wait a minute. Okay, there's another post. There's a post in here, and it runs down through this release plunger here, which it's not called that, through this, and this is holding it in. Okay. All right. So in order for me to get that out, do I have to push that in to get that out? I forget. Yes, I do. In order for me to get that little post out, there's a little post right here. I have to push this button in, and then the post comes right out. See it? Keep your finger on the button, because once you pull that post out, that button's going to go ping, it's going to shoot out. So keep my thumb on the button. There's the post. Remember how it goes in. Remember how it goes in. Okay, now the little plunger will come out. And it has a little spring on it. So do not lose your spring. Okay? And because the spring comes out very easy, it just sits in there. Okay? So you want to put that like that. Now, that's pretty much almost an empty slide. The only thing left on there is the, which I'm not taking it out, which is the chamber indicator. Now, you don't have to take that out every time. But if you notice once in a while this thing starts to get stuck up, that means it's getting dirt in there. Then you have to take it out. Then it's the same thing. You just take the roll pin and take it out, and there's a spring in there, so be careful. Clean it up, put it back together. You know, I wouldn't take that out until if you start moving it back and forth and it starts to feel gritty, then it's time to take it out. This feels great. There's only 50 rounds to this. I ain't gonna take that out. Okay, so I'm not taking that out. It's very easy to get out. Now, well, here's the thing I want to show you. Here's the extractor right here. It starts here and it comes down here. Now, I don't know how your XD is, but my XD, this extractor is in there big time. It is in there tight, tighter than a snake's ass, tighter than a garden snake's ass. Do you know how tight a garden snake's ass is? Ask Derek. It's really tight, guys. And look, if you have to do any prying and you're going to pry something, stop. Do not pry. There's no prying in gun and taking guns apart. There's obviously a tool for it, probably to get it out. Call Springfield Armory, get the friggin' tool, then take the extractor out. I tried to get it out with my pick set, because there is a in there, and you go down. There's a puddle. There's a dished out part, so you can get something under it, and you go in, you turn, and you hook it, and you pull it out. But these Harbor Freight pick sets, they're made out of very soft steel, so when I go down to turn it, to pull it out, it is not pulling that out. That sucker is in there. Now, I'm seeing some guys flip their guns around and they're putting their punch on the extractor to pop it out. That's not a good idea. I would not do that. All the stress is back here. So if you're putting stress down here trying to get it out, you're gonna screw it up. But you really don't need to take it out if you can't get it out. All you have to do is just scratch in there and clean that.
Would I throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner right now the way it is? I would. Even though that extractor is in there very tight, it's not a big deal because back here there's a hole. So if water's in there, it can drain out. So I mean, there's only one little part, but this slide is completely detailed stripped. I'm not going to take the extractor out because I don't have the right tool to do it, and I'm not screwing shit up. Okay. All right, let's put it back together. I hope this helped you a little bit. Okay, now if you look in here, you'll see the hole and then a little hole on the left side. That's where the spring goes. So you really can't put it in wrong, unless you're me. Might be able to. Now the spring might fall out, so what you do is you hold, you got to trick gravity. Hold the spring like this, and then bring the slide like this to it, and there. See what I'm doing? Now all I'm going to do now is press this down and put that post back in. Now I'm going to put the post back in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. The little post. I'll keep my thumb down on there all the way till that button's flush. I'm going to put the post in the way it came out. Punch, please. Push it down in there. And then release the button. Now the button's held in. If the post wasn't in right, the button would have shot out again. So the post is in. We're good. There's the button. There's the post. It's locked in. Okay? Alright. Now the next thing we're going to put in is the firing pin system. There's your buffer spring. There's the firing pin or striker fire pin, whatever you want to call it. And you're going to slide it in there. I think that's the next step. Yeah, there it is. Okay, now here's the tricky dicky. You put that in there. Okay, now we need to retain it in here, so we're going to put the pin back in. Flip it around. Let me see if I can get a piece of leather here. Give me more stability. No, it's not going to work, is it? Okay. I have to reposition the camera because I have to go to like the anvil side of my vise. Now when you're hammering pins in, it's very, very important you do it on a solid surface. You don't want anything to give, so you have to pound harder and harder because that's what screws things up. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing because I can't see. Flip the screen around so I can see a little. Okay. I'm going to put a leather strap on here. Why do you think I'm doing that? So I don't mess up the underneath of my slide. Okay, I'm gonna flip the slide upside down, make sure that firing pin system's in there, right? That's about as far as it can go in. And then I'm gonna put the slide on top of the leather strap so I don't screw up my flat surface under there. Okay? Now here's the roll pin. The roll pin has a closed area and it has an open area. Obviously, you want the closed area to go in first. Can you see what I'm doing? Alright. So I'm going to put the closed area in first and get it started. Okay, start it. Take your time. You don't need to whale it, just tap. It'll go in. Now I don't want to keep using the steel hammer because I don't want to spread this out and mushroom it and get it all screwed up. I just got it started with the steel hammer. Now I want to get the mallet and try to put it in the rest of the way. Okay, it won't go in anymore because now it's cutting into the mallet. So now I have to do is get an oversized punch. When I say oversized, I want the surface of this to be bigger than the pin because I don't want to go in the pin and spread the pin out more. I just want to hit it flush down. So I just keep checking because I don't want the metal punch to hit the top of my slide. I'll be very upset. Okay, this needs sticking up a little more. Okay. It's still sticking up too much for me. Let me see. Now I'm getting the exact same size punch so I don't There it is. Perfect. It's a little recessed in there. I don't want it to stick up, and that's just the way it looked before I took it apart. Always examine everything before you take it apart. It's recessed in there. Countersunk, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay. Okay. Now, let's put the reposition the camera again, because this spring is kind of a pain in the ass to get in. It's not like a 1911 or a Glock. It just has a lot of pressure under it. So we're going to reposition the camera again. Very, very unprofessional video, Pete. What are you doing? Alright, now this is the striker fire and the retaining button that keeps the back plate on. You like how I make up these words? It sounds like I know what I'm talking about, don't it? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, so this striker fire indicator and the little button, that the catch that keeps the back plate on, is going to go right in after the firing pin. Follow, just like that. Now I need this size punch. Okay, well, I can use this so I don't screw shit up. See how far I have to push that in? Now usually the Glock, it's all the way down here already. This sticks way up here, so you have to be like, get everything in position. So I'm going to get the backstop plate, which I think that's called that, and just get it in position. Start pushing this down. Okay. I got it in there, and I'm holding the lip with the backstop plate, the lip of the pin. It's hard to explain, you'll know what I mean. Now I'll push it the rest of the way with this plastic punch. Now I'm home free, baby. Do yourself a favor, don't look like this. It'll shoot your eye out, just like the kid on A Christmas Story. And your mom will never buy you a gun again, okay? Now I'll just snap it in like that. Okay, now the hole slides together. And now we're going to put it all together and give it a test. Now you know what I have to do now, right? This is a little test. The ultimate test, you have to go to the range. Now I have to go to the range tomorrow and shoot the XD and hope to God it runs right. Okay, there's it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's make sure the decocking indicator works, because we messed with that, right? There it is. Pull the trigger, it should disappear. Okay. The next thing we want to do is make sure the extractor is okay. And so we'll put some snap caps in there. There's that fucking phone again. It's probably Ron. I know it's Ron. Ron, IBS. Chambered around. Chamber indicators popped up. That's working. Let's see if it ejects okay. When you eject your snap caps, pull it fast and let it snap back. Don't be doing this shit, because that's not how it's designed, okay? Now do it as fast as you can, because that's how the gun runs at the range. You want to mimic how the gun's going to operate when it really fires. Because if you think your gun's jamming up because you're doing this, that's because you're not doing it fast enough. Most of the time. Okay, I mean, that's all I can do. I mean, I can give it the firing pin test. Make sure the firing pin's working. Sweet mama boobies.